Welcome to this explainer. Now, what if I told you that every single dollar you spend is actually a literal piece of your life? Today, we're going to completely shift your understanding of money, work, and financial independence. This isn't just a guide on how to budget or, some get-rich-quick scheme. Actually, scratch that. It is a fundamental masterclass on achieving ultimate freedom drawn directly from one of the most influential financial frameworks ever created.
So think about this for a second. If someone pointed a gun at you right now and said, your money or your life, what would you choose? I mean, you'd instantly hand over your wallet, right? Obviously. Yet every single day, millions of us unintentionally surrender our lives for our paychecks. We trade our absolute most precious resource, our time, for paper and digital numbers without even realizing the true cost. We really have to ask ourselves, are we working for money or is money controlling our lives?
Let's start by looking at Section 1, the rat race trap. Okay, let's dive into this ordinary world that so many of us are just trapped in, the endless cycle of the modern 9-to-5. Society conditions us to believe that earning more is going to fix our burnout. So what do? We wake up to a blaring alarm, commute in terrible rush hour traffic, deal with endless emails, and kind of just act busy. Then we drag ourselves home, completely exhausted, seeking some sort of escape through Netflix or expensive dinners out just to recover on the weekend so we can do it all over again. But instead of fixing this, earning more just makes us fall victim to lifestyle inflation and endless consumerism. We literally buy things to numb the exhaustion of the jobs we work to buy the things. It is the ultimate trap.
Moving right along to Section 2, money is life energy.
To escape this trap, we absolutely need a profound psychological shift in how we fundamentally define our finances. And here is that core truth. Money is something we choose to trade our life energy for. Money isn't just currency. It's a direct representation of your finite, irreplaceable hours on Earth. You have, maybe 75 or 80 years here? And your life energy is all you really possess. Everything you value has to fit inside that limited window. When you transitioned from the old view of money as mere currency to this new paradigm where money equals finite life energy, everything changes. Every single spending choice becomes a literal life decision. A Friday night out isn't just $100. It's actual hours of your life that you are throwing on the table.
This brings us to Section 3, your true hourly wage.
Get ready because this is probably the most shocking mathematical calculation you will ever do regarding your career. Think about a supposedly decent $17 an hour wage. It actually plummets to just $6 when you expose the hidden costs of maintaining that job. Think about it for a minute. You have to pay for the commute, the professional work clothes, the convenience meals because you're way too tired to cook, and the escape entertainment just to decompress from all that stress. When you subtract the money spent and add the unpaid hours lost to those activities, your true hourly wage is a mere fraction of what you thought it was. Suddenly, your purchases look completely different. Using that real hourly wage we just talked about, buying a new car doesn't just cost cash. No, it costs over 2 years of your actual life energy. A simple restaurant visit, that could be an entire working day gone. When you start seeing prices in terms of the literal life you gave up to afford them, your desire for endless consumer clutter just entirely evaporates.
Let's look at Section 4, finding your enough.
So the absolutely crucial point here is figuring out how to stop wasting your precious life energy and to consciously track what you are trading it for. By converting every single expense into hours of life energy, you bring extreme awareness to your spending habits. Now, this isn't about setting up a restrictive budget. Budgets are kind of like diets. They rarely work long term. This is an act of self-preservation. You are literally tracking your life force, becoming acutely aware of exactly where your energy flows. You must ruthlessly interrogate every single purchase with 3 major questions. Number 1, did this item give me fulfillment proportional to the hours of my life it cost? Number 2, does it align with my deep life values? And number 3, would I even buy this if I didn't have a stressful job I constantly needed to recover from? Answering these honestly strips away the consumer clutter and helps you pinpoint what actually brings you genuine joy. Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, the crossover point. Once you find that joy and eliminate the waste, incredible things start happening mathematically. Tracking your real-life energy naturally increases your savings. As you align your spending with your actual values, your monthly expenses drop and stabilize. This creates a beautifully growing gap between what you earn and what you spend. But listen closely. This gap isn't just extra spending money to blow on weekend trips. It is capital. You take that gap and you invest it. And over time, the absolute magic of compound growth begins to generate a rising curve of monthly investment income. This is money making money. It's passive income generated from dividends, interest, or real estate. And the best part? It is income that doesn't cost you a single drop of your life energy. It just steadily grows in the background while you sleep.
And this right here is the magic moment, the crossover point. This is the exact moment where your passive investment income completely overtakes your living expenses. When you hit this point, boom, you've achieved absolute financial independence. You are entirely self-sustaining. No more mandatory grind.
And finally, our conclusion: having more life.
Reaching this crossover point doesn't necessarily mean you stop working entirely. What it means is that you are finally free from the mandatory grind. It's about having the ultimate luxury, the luxury of choice. You discover the psychology of enough. You start to realize that true wealth isn't endless accumulation or keeping up with the Joneses. True wealth is hitting the peak of the fulfillment curve, where you have survival, comfort, and a few true luxuries, but absolutely none of the suffocating burden of excess clutter. It is the absolute freedom to direct your own life. The ultimate goal here is not simply to have more money. The goal is to have more life. So I leave you with this final, inescapable challenge to really consider before your alarm goes off tomorrow morning. Are you going to keep trading your finite, precious life for money? Or will you finally take back your life?